My parents paid for my brother's and my degrees, but my brother went to med school and I just did an undergrad. I don't know the exact number, but they gave at least $200,000 on top of his undergrad, and my undergrad was $64,000. They promised they would help me with my first house, and they did. They gave me $40,000 to match the $40,000 we'd already saved for a down payment for our first house, and they gave us $10,000 for our wedding. But that's the extent of the help. My brother finished his residency and is making $300,000 to $400,000. My husband must retire from being a plumber at 44 because of a bad knee. He can't get up after kneeling anymore. My oldest is a young teen, and we don't have anything saved for college because my husband and I haven't made much in the last couple of years. He would need time off to recover from knee surgery, and I only make $23 an hour. My sister-in-law and brother have professional jobs they can do well into their 60s, and my husband has to reskill into something that isn't physical. Still, he doesn't have any higher education. He's currently looking to be a housing inspector, which will take about a year to get the training and hours. I'm solely supporting our family, and we cannot keep up with the bills. My parents sold their house during the global issue and now have an apartment in Atlanta, but they travel around. I've asked them for help, but they said retirement uses up most of their savings, and they probably will only have the apartment to pass on to us. I asked for an advance of any inheritance, but they refused, justifying it by saying they don't know how much will be left. I told them about our situation and they said they couldn't help us. My parents are 66 and 67. They could still work and they're spending a lot of money traveling when we're struggling. I argued my brother got a lot more help than we did, and the down payment didn't in any way cover the extreme amount of money they spent on my brother. They argued they encouraged me to do a master's and they would have paid for it, but I didn't and it's too late to expect more. I'm quite angry because we would be in a different place if they really made things equal between my brother and me. Am I the idiot for expecting my parents to help me, since they helped my brother more in the past? You are the idiot. You graduated college with no tuition debt. You were given $40,000 to help buy a house and $10,000 for a wedding. You were offered a chance to get a master's but declined. So you were offered the same higher education opportunity your brother was, you just declined. That sounds fair to me. So your parents allocated their money into their life. They've now planned around having X amount of money, which does not include supporting you. Your parents have no idea what their end-of-life costs will be, so not giving you an advance on something that might be $0 is also reasonable. I totally agree with this. OP is the idiot for expecting their parents to cover their bills, given the choices OP made in their education. OP threw an amazing opportunity for a much higher standard of living that, checks notes, their parents would have paid for. I'm sorry your life has a lot of challenges, but you were given equal opportunities. Giving equal opportunities isn't about giving equal money over a lifetime. Right, they've slaved their lives away and have already given you $100,000, but that's not enough apparently. The parents are 66 and 67. If they want to travel, let them. They deserve to enjoy life and travel while they can. The nerve of you, OP, to say they can still work. So you want them to go back to work so they can continue supporting you financially and paying your bills? You're an adult. Get another job or find something else that pays more than what you're getting now. Get sidelines or whatever. You are not their responsibility anymore. I, female 30, finally became pregnant after trying for 5 years. Recently we had our 12-week scan and the baby is healthy. My partner and I are overjoyed and have decided to tell our family now. My family was thrilled for us, knowing this journey wasn't easy for us. My sister, 28, already has 3 children and is currently 30 weeks pregnant with her 4th. And like a damn child, she's acting like I'm stealing her thunder, even though I'm doing no such thing on purpose. I know my sister and what she's like, but even I'm a little put off and surprised by her behaviour. She makes these little comments, little digs, and stuff like that because she wants all the attention on her. She's always been like this. And although her pregnancy is no less important and a happy occasion for our family, I feel that my news is so fresh. The fact that we've been trying for a long time and this is our first, there is perhaps a tiny bit more of a celebratory vibe to my pregnancy due to circumstances, but nothing crazy or anything. My parents and family still dote on my sister just as much as they dote on me during this time. But my sister is just, well, lack of a better word, a little petty and a drama queen. We were visiting my parents yesterday for dinner and my sister was there too with her kids, and my mother greeted me by saying hello and then rubbing my belly with a giddy chuckle as she's excited for me, and my sister, who was already there, rolled her eyes and said, "You didn't greet me like that." My mum clicked her tongue and said, "Oh, don't be silly. An hour or so passed, and then one of my very boisterous nephews had this toy mallet thing and hit my stomach. To which I kind of moved away and said, "No, careful, don't do that." My sister says, "Oh, for God's sake, get a grip," which naturally then started an argument. I said, "Don't tell me to get a grip, I'm pregnant, and I don't want him to hit me in the stomach with a toy." She responds, "So am I, you don't see me being pathetic like that." So I said, "You're on your 4th child, this is my 1st time, so sorry if I'm a little paranoid. You know my situation and how long I've waited for this." And she rolled her eyes and started making comments again about how my pregnancy is like the second coming of Christ, which really upset me, to be honest, so much so that we left because I just didn't want to deal with it. Before leaving, I called her a nasty, petty witch. Haven't spoken to her since yesterday, and honestly, I don't want to right now. My mum was so upset over this fight, but I told her how I felt and said I didn't want to talk to my sister. Am I the idiot? Was what I said justified? Not the idiot. Her identity revolves around her kids. Her place in the family was providing grandkids. She thought that you not having kids made her special. She sounds like she's upset with her life choices. That isn't your problem, and she shouldn't be taking that out on you. Stay away from her for a while. Seriously, don't let her need to be the center of attention jeopardize your pregnancy. You don't need extra cortisol or higher blood pressure right now. Stay away and let yourself be looked after by people who are genuinely happy for you. Agreed. Your sister is just mad she's not the main character for once. She's on baby number 4, acting like you stole her spotlight, girl. This isn't Coachella. It's a pregnancy. The second coming of Christ comment was straight up nasty, and you had every right to call her out. Enjoy your pregnancy, protect your peace, and let her throw her little tantrum. She'll get over it, or she won't, but that's her problem. I, 27 female, have been dating my boyfriend Jake, 29, for almost a year now, and honestly, I've never been happier in a relationship. He's smart, kind, works his butt off running his own business, and we just get each other. My dad, though, he's never liked him. At first, I thought it was just normal overprotective dad stuff, but over time it became clear it was something deeper. He thinks Jake isn't established enough, whatever the heck that means. He's commented that Jake doesn't come from the right crowd, and that he's not someone who can secure my future. Mind you, I have a great job, I make my own money, I don't need a man to secure anything for me. Anyway, my dad invited me over for dinner last weekend, and I thought maybe he was finally coming around. But no, I barely sat down before he started in on how I could do better and how he just wants the best for me. Then he drops the real reason he asked me over. He wants me to meet his boss's son, Andrew, 30. Apparently they've been talking about how Andrew is looking for a wife, and my dad, being the absolute mastermind that he is, decided I should be the perfect candidate. I literally laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He starts going on about how Andrew comes from old money, how he's on track to take over the family business, and that I'd have a better life with him. I just sat in shock for a second before asking him if he was serious right now. He was. I told him I have a good life, I love Jake, and I'm not some chess piece he can move around for his own benefit. He starts getting mad, saying I'm being stubborn and immature, and that I'll regret not at least keeping my options open. That's when I snapped. I told him he was ridiculous and I'm not some business deal he gets to negotiate. Things got really heated and I ended up just leaving before dinner even started. Now he's playing the victim, saying he was just looking out for my future and that I disrespected him by yelling. Am I the idiot for losing it on him? Not the idiot. Your dad literally tried to set you up like some 1800s arranged marriage deal, and now he's mad you didn't say, "Thank you, father," and play along. Please, you don't owe him politeness when he's treating you like a bargaining chip. If he keeps this up, he's going to secure a future where you stop telling him about anything in your life. Plus, the old money thing? Dear God, I'm English, so let me tell you the only thing that old money means is that you can guarantee your kids would all have no chins. Your dad needs to be enlightened as to what century he's living in. This is ridiculous. You're in a relationship where you're happy and healthy. Your dad doesn't seem very smart either. If you did date his son and it went badly, it would likely adversely affect his working relationship with his boss. And if his boss were as snobby as your dad, the boss and his son would likely look down on you the same way your dad looks down on Jake. My parents struggled to have kids and went on fertility treatments to have my siblings. The result was 2 sets of non-identical boy-girl twins who looked identical pretty much. The older twins are Max and Amy, and the younger twins are Jace and Lacey. Our family has always been so obsessed with the fact that there were two sets of twins born to the same parents in our family and they could pass for identical even though they're of the opposite sex. Birthdays, Christmas, school plays, sports games, report cards, graduations, and everything else were a huge deal and celebrated as a great thing. My siblings had so many parties thrown for them and so many reasons given to get them gifts that it was insane. I was born 6 years after Jason Lacey, and my family can't hide their disappointment in a singleton. My birthdays were never a big deal, and I didn't get the same attention for Christmas, report cards, sports games, or school plays. For my siblings, the whole family would try to show up and support them, and I was lucky to have one parent at any of my stuff. My report cards were never celebrated either. I'm not too close to my siblings. They don't notice me much and enjoy the attention a lot, so it's easy for me to slide through the cracks with them. But even our parents don't put the same amount of attention and effort into me. My graduation was a topic of conversation a weekend ago. My siblings couldn't make it because of work or college stuff, and the rest of my family was like, well, I guess we don't need to plan around my graduation. I told them I'd still like everyone there, and they said I didn't need anyone there. I asked why my siblings had, and they said it was such a big deal for twins when they're one of two sets born to the same parents and could pass for identical. They said that's something to celebrate. I told my family it wasn't my fault I wasn't a twin, and I didn't get why I was being overlooked. My grandpa said, as an almost adult, I don't need to be jealous of the attention other kids get, and as a boy, I shouldn't get caught up in that kind of stuff. I said even teenage guys want to feel like they matter. My family said I was being unreasonable. One of my aunts said I was gaslighting the family, while my grandma, parents, and a couple of other aunts and uncles said I was emotionally trying to manipulate them. They wanted me to apologize to everyone for telling them it's not my fault I'm a twin because nobody ever said it was. Am I the idiot? I'm sorry, you're gaslighting them? That's laughable. Not the idiot. Go and live your best life, and when you become successful, if they ask you for anything, just be like, sorry, I'm a singleton. I can't share with anyone but myself. Sorry, but you guys are huge disappointments and I just can't. Go away and stop gaslighting me. Yikes. So your parents went through all this time, money and effort to have a large family, and they treat you like a throwaway. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that being born on the same day as another sibling was such a significant accomplishment. Right? Having two sets of spontaneous twins would be interesting, especially if twins don't run in the family, but that's not what this is. Fertility treatments are known to have this happen. Also, if it had been two sets of spontaneous twins, that's no real reason to treat your younger child as less than just because they're not a twin. Every child is valid and deserves the same love and affection as the others. I came here to write the same thing. Yay, science worked. If you really want to mess with your parents, tell them you always felt a part of you is missing, and ask them if they failed to keep viable your twin. You have learned that you'll never be enough for your family. I'm sorry, OP. So be enough for yourself and build a family for yourself. I, 33 female, share custody with my ex Jay, 34 male, of our pre-tween daughter. Let's call her Alice. We do 50-50 swapping weeks. Has been this way since she started school. Jay has been dating this girl Eliza, 28, for about 5 years. I've never gotten along with her because she's always done too much and oversteps her boundaries as a stepmom. My ex and I don't get along either. We have a court order for custody and are currently on our way back to court because he wants to modify the order for no real reason, just to give some backstory on the overall situation. Eliza has family in many different places, so they travel often. They take trips almost every year to visit her parents and other family members during breaks. They're visiting Eliza's family, mind you, not Jay's. I told them previously I disapprove of so much travel, but they didn't listen. Last week, Jay said he was taking Alice to Philadelphia for his custody week so she could experience a parade in Eliza's parents' hometown. I told him absolutely not, and I disapprove and she can stay with me while they go. Alice would miss 3 days of school just for a parade. She's seen parades before many times. He didn't care and took her anyway. He claimed to have already spoken to teachers to get her lessons she would be missing and said this could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. As her mother, if I say she shouldn't be travelling or missing school, we should make this decision together, right? It's not just up to him and Eliza to decide what she does. She returned to me today and I want to know if I would be the idiot if I filed a motion that requires my approval for travel. Am I the idiot for being angry? I told him that's what my next step was and he blew up on me. Some of my friends think I'm overreacting, but my mother is on my side. I just think if he's being irresponsible and letting her miss school for nonsense, that's not good decision making. Would you still have the same automatic absolutely not reaction if Eliza had nothing to do with this? Because it sounds like you're opposed to Eliza being a positive influence on your daughter out of jealousy. Like, you're angry at her because she can style your daughter's hair better, so that's inappropriate. I understand you don't like your ex and his family. Still, she's his partner, and trying to dictate that she doesn't get to act like a decent parent in her own house because it makes you feel bad is ridiculous. You are the idiot. Like, seriously, you're telling a pre-tween today she can't miss 2 days of basic elementary school and have a fun vacation experience because you don't like the people they're visiting. It sounds like your daughter is happy with the relationship with her father and stepmother, but you're unhappy that she's happy. I agree with you. Kids missing a day or two of school for travel isn't a big deal. Our district allows up to 10 days for travel. The experience of travelling for kids is good and they learn a lot, even if it is for a sport-related event. I get that OP's worried, but Eliza has been in the picture for 5 years. She's family to her daughter. Playing hardball in this won't bode well for the future. You are the idiot because your concern isn't your child missing school, but that the child likes Eliza.